Hi and welcome to week 3 of scientific writing. First of all, some general announcements. First of all, I was very happy to see that most of you correctly identified the more reliable of the two studies I posted. The STEP study indeed is the more reliable one because of its design. It has a larger sample, a representative sample. It has lots of controls. It is randomized, double-blinded, and statistically sound. The other one has a very small sample that has a lot of selection bias, has no controls whatsoever, and it's not clear how the measurements are done. And there's a host of other reasons, but in general, you got the gist of it, so great job on that. I also read through all the topics you proposed this week in the discussion forums, and I thought they were pretty great. I only had a few comments here and there about narrowing some of them down, so good job on that. Also, I want to remind you to leave the weekly feedback. It's very helpful to me. It helps me adjust and make this course better, I hope. And I will post a summary of those feedback responses as soon as I get all of them, maybe by Tuesday or Wednesday. Finally, I do read all of your reflections and I leave comments on most of them. And I enjoy reading them a lot. So keep up the good work on that. A reminder, group work is very important in this class, so play nicely. Also, in case you forgot, all the assignment descriptions and rubrics are posted in Angel in a separate folder. So please check them out before you start writing. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. And don't forget to email me with questions or just post in Angel in the discussion forum entitled Ask Your Instructor. Moving on to the tasks for this week, we have 3 of them divided under 2 broad themes. One is writing effectively, and the other is drafting the proposal. So we're starting the actual writing process on the proposal assignment. The effective writing, just a couple of words on the pointers given by Thomas Lang in our book. First of all, remember to distinguish intrinsic versus instrumental purpose. So far you've probably been used to writing with an intrinsic purpose, most of the times for the sake of writing or for your instructor. From now on, you should be used to write with an instrumental purpose, which means that you have to be aware that your audiences will get to use what you write, whether it's patient information, brochure, reports, proposals, etc., or articles, and in a certain way. So you have to be aware of how your audiences use and need your documents. So watch out for comprehensibility, recallability, usability, and all the other abilities that Thomas Lang talks about in chapter 2. And how you do that, you do this operating at word, sentence, and paragraph level. And at word level, there are a few very practical pointers. Some of them probably contradict what you knew so far. That, for example, the use of I or we, in case you are the actual researcher, in case you conduct the actual experiment, you have to use the first person. There's nothing wrong with that. It's simpler and clearer. Use familiar words, so the Germanic as opposed to the Latin word whenever possible. Etc., etc. Avoid nominalization is a big one too, and we're going to practice this week. You'll see how. At sentence level, write in the active voice. That's pretty simple. Keep subject and verb close together. Again, this is all very common sense advice, and we're going to get to practice some of that too. At paragraph level, make sure you use strong topic sentences and you check for emphasis, unity, and coherence. So your paragraph flows, has a strong point, it has good transitions, and stays on topic. Now, the next task you have to deal with this week is start to draft the proposal. And may I remind you that this is the description of the assignment with the rubric, which is in the folder in Angel I talked about. And you don't have to start writing from the beginning. So usually leave the first 2 elements, like the title page and the abstract, until the end. And you start wherever you feel comfortable with the rest. And this is the description of the proposal. I got you started on the topic and rationale, but we'll get to work more on that next week. And this week I want you to work on purpose, intended audiences, and bibliography. And keep this description in mind. This is what you're going to have to add the week after for the peer review. And this is the rubric that I'm going to use to score you. So to summarize, the tasks, which are also outlined in the folder in Angel, are to 1. Do the 10 exercises to make your writing more effective. I'm asking you actually to divide the 10 between the team members. You'll see how. Read the instructions carefully. And post them there and comment on each other's post. And then draft 3 of the sections of the proposals: audience, purpose, and bibliography. Very detailed instructions on each of these are in Angel. One last word about grant proposal, which is what chapter 6 was about. First of all, nobody ever writes a grant proposal alone, so don't even try it. Always seek a mentor. If you want to know how to write one or how to begin to write one, or for some tips, chapter 6 is a good starter. Then browse grants.gov for tips. If you want to get started here at USP, you should participate in USP's core initiative and look for grants through the USP sponsor database. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. And when you find an appropriate grant, you have to make sure you qualify, that you're the appropriate recipient for that grant, and that your idea is a good fit with the granting agency. For this, you're going to have to research what the granting agency's objectives and outlook and goals are. What kind of policies that the agency endorses. So in other words, you have to know your audience and kind of try to fit with their goals. And finally, you have to follow the instructions in the request for proposals or request for announcements, RFP or RFA, to the letter. And I'll just make a quick detour to show you how you can get involved with grant writing at USP. And this is the USP page. I'm in the research page. So first of all, a good place to start, I think, are the research events. And there are several of them. The core one gets students and faculty together, which is actually very nice. And it shows what professors at USP work on, and identify suitable funding sources. And you can ask questions and see how you can get started. There are also seminars offered through this office, so grant writing seminars. And the other thing you can do for your own benefit, I guess, if you click on sponsor projects and research and on finding opportunities, you will see that apart from GrantsNet and GrantsGov, and I mentioned GrantsGov already, you can also seek information on grants on the Community of Science. Why? Because they also offer some smaller grants that you may actually be qualified for. So let's say many of you are physical therapy students. If I search for physical therapy opportunities here, right? These are the opportunities that appear, and some of them are for scholarships that you may actually qualify for. I don't know, and the deadlines are coming up, in February, and etc. for next year. So you have some time to actually apply for some of those. You probably need to do some more searches, see what you can qualify for, or see what the requirements are. And again, the important thing is that you follow the instructions to the letter. Yeah, because otherwise they won't even look at your grant. It's not like me accepting an assignment or a professor accepting an assignment and deducting points from your grade because you missed something. They won't look at it if you missed something on the application. So you have to be very careful. But anyway, this is how you can get to search some of these opportunities, again, through research, finding and sponsor projects and research and finding opportunities. And this is it for this week. I hope you have a great one, and I'll see you next week.